Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rich Life Show with Herb Martin, and I'm Danko Sidorovsky. The purpose and the goal of the show is to help people be more rational in pursuing their own goals. And obviously, there are certain steps that people need to take to lead a richer life. And this introduction is to go over and summarize the steps and the processes that we've experienced through our lives that have helped us, and we want to share them with everyone. What are some of the steps that are involved?
Okay. I think the first step would be understanding the meaning of our culture and the values that it holds, and the moral thought, and the idea of what our society is built off of, the rules and regs, basically. And then as it differs from other cultures. But in explaining our own culture, we have to understand what those rules and regs are, so to know what our expectations are. There is only one reality for this culture. Basically, it's built upon our Constitution. It's built of the things that we look at, and we come to an agreement about what it is, and those ideas. As for example, if I say there's a horse in the room and you don't see one, then that's not facing reality.
So, one of the steps of pursuing a richer, fuller life is to really be in tune with reality as it fits in your culture, in your surroundings, and how your peers and everyone agrees that this is the reality.
That's the definition of reality.
Okay. So, what is another step to understanding and pursuing a fuller life?
I think it is, another step is, I think a very important one, is to understand what is the use of their language and their self-talk and how it works, how people become irrational based on what they believe in the culture, in our reality. An example would be, I can't do everything that I want to do in the culture, so there are rules that govern all of us. We pay a price.
So we're saying that, I think what Herb, and correct me if I'm not correct here, is that we all talk to ourselves, and it comes from places. It comes from maybe a commercial. It could come from our parents. It could come from our peers. And over time, we talk to ourselves about who we are, what we can do or not do. And this is one of the steps to identify with what are we saying to ourselves, right? What are we saying to ourselves every day? So the first one of the steps is, what is the reality that we're in today? Another step is, what are we saying to ourselves while we're walking around and looking at things and interacting with folks? And give me one more example of this, because it could be complex.
It could be complex, and when we don't understand what is rational or what is irrational, then we're all just people, and we do some irrational things. And sometimes we look back and say, that didn't make sense. What do I need to understand? How do I base my life on something that is going to be very positive? and how to understand that I'm setting some irrational goals. And just because I want to do something, it may be self-defeating, irrational.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that if a goal that you have is solidly makes sense based on reality rather than irrationality, which is self-defeating, that I'd better change it because it doesn't fit in a rational way. It doesn't lead me to make correct decisions about what it is I'm thinking. And because I'm thinking it doesn't mean that's the reality.
So, again, going back to the purpose of our show together is to identify how we make decisions.
That's right.
And where are we with, how in tune are we with reality?
Mm-hmm.
What are we saying to ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that coming from? And then, are we making rational or irrational decisions?
We help you understand, first of all, what does it mean to be rational? And that's self-preserving. And it helps us make decisions that are real. And the other side of it is the irrationality like we have. We sing words like, I can't, then you can. And we're saying words of what? Like, it has to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying things like, everybody's got to love me. We're saying things that it always happens. Nothing always happens. Tell me, we never, never get to never.
So this, to summarize all these things, they all work together all the time, and they're not interdependent all the time. They work together, these parts and pieces of reality, rationality, and self-talk. And this is how this show, as it progresses, will take phone calls in from the public, we'll take real case scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to help people with pursuing a richer life.
That's right.
And this is the intro that we wanted to share with the public and introduce ourselves. And the next step that we'll talk about is a more in-depth piece about reality.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be our next piece.
Okay. Mm-hmm.